this past weekend. Fuck. Must be video. All right. Yeah. Come on now. It's just Monday. Come on, man. We can do it. If you'll do it, I'll do it, guys. If you'll do it, I'll do it. It's just Monday. That's all it is. If you're listening to this on Monday, if not, it could be Tuesday. If you're doing a different day and also listening to this at the same time. And welcome to this past weekend and happy whatever day it is. I mean, the thing is that this is it. This is the day. Whatever, I don't care if it's, if it is the year 2018, which is when this has been recorded and taped, or if it's, you might be listening to this in 2071. But this is the day. Whatever, this is it. So whatever it is what it is. So at this point, it's just, how am I going to deal with it? How am I going to look at it? Because let me tell you this. Today probably showed up with claws on. And with sharp panties on. And today probably showed up wanting to be wild. Today probably showed up with a fucking dude with no arms and sharp teeth that wants to fight. And how are you going to deal with today? That's the question. Because that is what's in our control. You know what I'm saying? They might have a missile headed right at you, or headed right at your cousin, or headed right at somebody you don't even know. Maybe a step cousin or a distant relative, or somebody one of your parents used to fuck when they were in college. They might have a missile headed right at you, or headed right at them. But what are you going to do? You got to find a way to celebrate living in the meantime. As the missiles head our direction, we got to hit that joy. If you got to cut on a beautiful song onto the music player, or you got to do something, if you got to watch somebody do the Dougie, or somebody do, a fancy dance on the internet, or you got to do whatever you got to do, you got to tickle somebody that's already probably got high blood pressure and watch them laugh and then also cough and then struggle. Whatever you have to do, it's just a matter of you got to find that joy for today. You got to find it. Because sometimes life's going to give you that fucking limonada. And that's Spanish lemonade, baby. And what are you going to do? Huh? You're going to sit there and be like, man, I don't like limonada. No. You got to find a way to thrive. You got to find a way to just convince your taste buds that today is limonada for daddy and limonada for da mama. So let's have a good perspective today, guys, whatever day it is, and let's get into it. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for being a part of my celebrating living. All of your demons exercise. That's it. Let's have some fun while we all die. Little dark. It's a little dark, I know, but that's by Spencer Jacob Grau. And if you're hearing me come in a little bit wacky there, a little echoey, it's because I am in Portland, Oregon, and I'm down here at the Nines Hotel. They got a fancy hotel down here called the Nines, and I'm staying down here. And I took the and how I do it when I'm on the road, I put a picture up on my Instagram, but how I do it is I'll take the lamp covers off and put them, put the lamps close enough. And I get the video camera set up so we can have video and audio. And then and we start putting this hitter together. Speaking of hitters, Gray Block Pizza, they're always with us. Sometimes you have a devil on your shoulder. And that devil he's got pork ribs, or he got, birthday cake, day-old birthday cake, or 2-day-old. But then on that other shoulder, you got that Italian. You got that fiery Italian with a spine that's kind of fancy, you know. Some people's spines go straight and some people's spines go side to side. They call it scoliosis. I call it spine flavor. Some people, bone structure got that built-in twerk. And that's what I call it. And that's what I see when I see somebody with that scoliosis. I'm like, damn, you know? Daddy's got that osteophysiosis. You know, daddy's spine has already got that dance move built into it. And that's what you get with that gray block hitter. You know, that devil's on your shoulder with the pork ribs and with the day old birthday cake that has maybe expired frosting on it. You know, frosting that should have been eaten a year or two ago. But then on that other shoulder, you got that beautiful Italian delivery boy. And he don't have a whole pie. He might have a slice. Wouldn't that be beautiful? A delivery man shows up to your door just with that slice, boy. Oh, he's like, and you open the door and you can't even, the Italian man that is so, you can't even bear, he's so sexy you can't even fucking get a good look at him. That's how sexy that man is. And he might have a shirt on. He might not have a shirt on. He might have 3 shirts on. You don't even know. He's moving so fast but so slow at the same time. And you know you ordered pizza, but maybe you didn't. Maybe your heart did. And you look and you think he's going to have maybe like he's got a hot bag. He's got that one of them hot bags. It's actually a box. And some of them pizza people, they carry the hot box. You know, and you're like, damn, what's in there, you know? And he opens it up and first you see just a bunch of steam come flowing out. Maybe a small horse comes running out of the bag or 2 horses. And they've been drinking a lot of water and they look well nourished. And you're like, fuck. Those horses were having fun in that bag. What's going on in there? And then he reaches in and you think he's going to pull out a whole pizza pie. This fast, slow Italian, you think he's going to pull out an entire El Piazza de Italiano. But no, he pulls out just one slice. And you open your mouth to ask a question, but before you can get the question out, he reaches his small, little bitty, long, sexy Italian hand and just drops that pizza right in to your fucking loud face hole. And your eyes close and you go to sleep. And you have dreams of pure joy. You have dreams of the Lord sitting on a cloud playing with Barbie dolls and eating fresh frosting. And that is that gray block hitter. Their link is always with us in our information. You can check them out. That's GREYBLOCK.com. Gray block. Or gray block pizza. I don't know. The link is in the freaking info. Don't ask me. But they're always with us. Get that hitter. I'm in Portland, guys. I'm in Portland, Oregon. And man, what a week, man. I'm gonna tell you right out of the gate, I'm gonna thank some people, man. I want to thank a couple of Fat Gary came out. Fat Gary came out with his wife, bro, with his lean wife. Daniel, Big Daniel came. Gutter Smut 212 came. Cat Bush Ernest. Who else? I got a couple. Spice Rack. Dead Family. Gucci 11 came out. Alan. Small Pat. Everybody came out. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful to you guys for making my experience here a good one. And it has been a good one, man. We went to Harvey's Comedy Club. If you haven't been there, a lot of my listeners, it was their first time. A lot of my fans, it was their first time there. And it was my first time there, man. And we got through it and we got through the weekend. And I just want to thank you guys. Man, so many cool cats came out. People drove in from Canada, Detroit, other countries, different places. Somebody boated in, they said. Some dude had, you know how they have a coat rack room where you check your coat? Some dude checked in 2 boat oars. I'm like, who in the fuck is this Viking? But he made it. He made it out to the show. And he said he couldn't bring his family, but he brought pictures of his family. And it made me kind of question him a little bit, but you know what? In the end, I'm just going to believe him and believe that he has a family. But man, we had a blast. We had a blast over there in Portland, Oregon. And everybody came out, and I just want to thank you. It was a good time. And I got to tell you, people were asking, did you visit the hamster ranch? And hold on, I'm just making sure this audio is okay. People were asking, did you visit the hamster ranch? And I'm going to tell you this, yes, I did. I went out there and visited with the hamster rancher himself, Mr. Austin Robinette. And I'm going to see if I have his call here, right here. Man, where is hamsters? His call. Anyhow, I should have it right here. I don't have it. But anyhow, Austin called in a while back, and he said, hey, man, I am a damn hamster rancher. You know, and I need you out here. You would love it out here. And he's out here ranching hamps. And so I went out there. And I pull up, and look, man, I was a little bit nervous. Because, look, let's be honest. 9 out of 10 times somebody says, hey, come out to the suburbs or rural area, rural Oregon, and, you know, I'll be out here with 5,000 or 6,000 hamsters. Pretty much 9 out of 10 times you're going to get murdered. 9 out of 10 times. Go do it. You don't believe me? So I know some of you guys are sitting there like, come on, man. 90% of the time I'm gonna get murdered? Yes, you might. So I'm not saying that I'm a damn miracle. But I'm saying I caught that lucky, non-murdering hamster rancher. And so Austin, I met him up out there, and he's a man. He's he's about a medium man. If you had to think of a man who's a medium, a healthy medium, then you would be thinking about him. And I got out there, and I was nervous, you know, and next thing you know, they welcomed me inside. He was out there. He has children. So you got children out there. And we see the children, you know things are pretty legit. Because a lot of murderers, if somebody's a murderer, they don't bring their children around. You know? Murderers, they usually do family stuff, murder stuff, completely separate. But I'll tell you this. I got into their main kind of, and I don't want to call it a warehouse because I don't want to make their business sound like like not, you know, legit or not healthy or not. I mean, these animals were all well cared for, it seemed like. They had a mall out there. They had them Swarovskis, them Russians. You know, they had, I didn't see any, they had some Syrians. I saw probably about, I'm not even joking, maybe 1,100 Syrian hamps out there. Gang, gang. I saw they had the Campbell dwarfs. I mean, they had Angus. They had the Black Angus, dude. You know, they had the Fibonacci's. They had everything. They had everything out. You can't even imagine. I saw 6,000 hamsters right there. I mean, it was like, dang. I mean, if Noah's Ark would have pulled up, it would have been a fucking fight because there's no way you were going to pick two just to put on a boat. They were all beautiful. And I was in heaven. And this man, Tony Jones, met me out there. You know, my lady friend accompanied me out there. And we made it out there and we just checked him out. And it was awesome. You know, the lady, I think Christy or Krista is her name. I also don't want to give out too much of their personal information because they welcome me into their environment. But I'll tell you this man, Austin Robinette, and fuck, I just gave his full name. But this man, Austin Robinette, he's a hamp rancher. And man, they welcomed me in, and next thing you know, look, I'll tell you this, if you would have put me in a bathtub, you could have completely covered me with hamsters. If I was laying down, you could have completely covered me with hamsters probably 40 times. That's how many there were. So I'm just telling you, there was 6,000, 7,000. And look, there was a lot of them were breastfeeding and they were fucking hugging. And a lot of them, like, you know, you're walking down the rows and they're in these little, you know, cages or aquariums. And I'm not sounding cages. This shit ain't like the Green Mile, you know. It's not like I'm walking through there and they got, you know, one of them's beating a cup against the rails or something or throwing, you know, skeet out of the damn cage or something like in Silence of the Lambs. It's not like Silence of the Hamps, you know, where they got a short man in the distance licking his lips with a hockey mask on, talking about wine. You know, there was nothing wild like that. You just had, oh, man. I can't even express to you the joy that I felt. And for me, like, I've never been a pet lover. And I know that hurts some people to hear, but I grew up in an environment where nobody had a fucking pet when I was young, okay? You know, I saw a blind kid one time get chased by 2 bats. That's really the first experience I ever had with animals. And that shit is... And then I got attacked by dogs on one of my birthdays. I got attacked by cats on one of my birthdays. A cat came off this roof one time of a camper and fucking got me right around my clavicle. When we were about to go to the river one time, couldn't even go. Had to get rabies, tetanus shots, all of that. So I haven't had good experience. And nobody in my neighborhood had a pet. Nobody had a fucking PET. A pet is something you touch that is an animal. Okay? People had animals. They had that dog that lived over there by Wellington's house, by Danny Wellington's. Have you seen that dog? People are like, is that Danny's dog? Fuck no, that ain't Danny's dog. Okay? That dog's from somewhere else. That dog could be from Nebraska. It's mixed. The dog is mixed. It looks kind of half, maybe half Scottish, half African American. And that thing's out there fucking people up by Danny Wellington's. That's nobody's dog. I remember the first time I ever saw a pet indoors, and that was a pet. That's a dog you can touch. It's not gonna, that's not gonna try and attack you or wrangle you or get some blood out of your body with its teeth. Yeah, we didn't have all that. So when I see these people come, when I see, and I'm in the safe confines of this ranch, man, it just made me, for the first time in my life, I kind of felt what it was like to be an animal lover. Really. And that shows me that a lot of times it's just about that safety, feeling that safety around animals and feeling, I guess, I grew up in such fear of them that I wasn't able to love. It's hard to love from a place of fear. It's really, really hard. And that's one thing I've even found. I'm not trying to get emo here, but one thing I found about myself as a person. Now, when I was a child, I must have been so fearful as a child that it was hard for me to learn about love because I couldn't. It's really hard to love from a place of fear because love is it's a lot of trust. Love is just as much trust as you can put together. I mean, it's just a really fancy buffet of trust. You got a little bit of trust pudding, and you got some, you got some trust ruffles, and you got some trust truffles, and you got trust flakes and trust cracklings over here, and then you got the boiled trust and the baked trust and the murder trust, and that's that trust buffet. That's love. But man, when you don't have that growing up and you feel fearful, then it's hard to love things. It's hard to love people. It's hard to love yourself, really. But that's what happened to me with them animals. Every time I went outdoors, it was fucking, gang, son. Who wants a piece of daddy? Trying to punch at these crows that were trying to attack us, or, people, dogs coming at us. Not to mention the lice belt. Don't even tell me I didn't grow up in the lice belt. Next thing you know, you're walking with a friend. Next thing you know, he hits the dirt. And he's scratching his head, and you don't know what happened. You think invisible lightning got him. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. That's lice. And that's the devil's invisible crawling lightning. And that's head lice. And so it just, it was hard to love animals when you couldn't trust them. Because I'm going to be honest, if people want to say all animals aren't trustworthy and all that, let's don't get into that shit. Okay, some of these animals are out there just trying to catch it, just get that next hit, to buy that next gram, okay, to cop that next piece of ass. Not every animal is nice. If you remember Roger Rabbit, and they have those 3 or 4 weasels, those sneaky weasels trying to bang that chick with the red hair. Yeah, remember Scrooge McDuck, the Beagle Boys? They're dogs, dude. Yeah. And they were bank robbers. And I know you're like, oh, those are drawings. I know they're drawings, but they're based on real life, you idiot. And that's what I'm saying. Not all animals are great. But when you don't trust them, you don't have that trust. But when I was out there with Austin and this gang, man, it was, you can't even believe the joy. And I'm making a video. I'll put it up on Patreon this week. And I'm not making it just for Patreon people, but I am going to say that, I got to do something for them. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of support. So, but man, I'm trying to think of what else happened. Dude, I almost couldn't even hear when I was there. I was having so much fun just being around them all. And you get up to the cages and you just, some of them, they just, some of them look like they speak Spanish, and some of them look like they, might have been homosexual or just trying to meet another little, man hamster. I mean, he had everything. He had everything going on. And they had rabbits, and then some of the families live there on premises. And the people that own the joint, they used to both sell tropical fish. And they met it like a big fish mixer. So, I mean, that's animals right there bringing people together. When you're out there at a big fish mixer, you guys are standing on the side of a tank. Next thing you know, y'all are both, ogling the same carp or whatever. And then fast forward 7 years, you guys are running a hamster ranch out there outside of Oregon. So it was unbelievable. And that's the power of podcasting too. Because Austin hit me up. He just said, hey man, I love the podcast. I want to know what's going on. And here's what I do. Here, I got the call right here. Let's see if we can listen to it. This is the call that came in originally from Austin.
Hey Theo, my name's Austin. I'm from Oregon up here, just south of Portland. I just wanted to call. So I heard about you through Joe Rogan's podcast, Joe Rogan, and thought this guy's pretty funny. So
thank you, Austin. I appreciate that. And this is his original call. Keep going.
I checked out your podcast and fairly recently, actually. So one night I was working on the farm that I live on, and I'm working away, and I heard you on your other podcast, allegedly, talking about hamster farms. And I thought it was crazy because I live on a hamster ranch, and I was right in the middle of feeding hamsters, so I was kind of freaking out. It's in there by myself, feeding hamsters, listening to you.
Wow, and you would think from hearing that the man's going to be a murderer. I was in there by myself feeding hamsters. But no, man, he was a good man. And Austin, I thank you so much. Austin came out to the show on Saturday night with two of his friends. And everybody had a great time, and I'm just grateful. We'll try to check in with Austin here and there and see if we can't, have him be an occasional guest here on this past weekend. But it was just, that's the power of podcasting. He hears that, he reaches out, and next thing we're out there really enjoying ourselves out there and just getting to be around all these beautiful little, just fucking floor bears. I mean, just spirited. It was just like magic. I mean, it was just like magic. It was like somebody just took a whole fucking bag of just magic dust and just buried it inside of a bunch of little bitty animals' asses or something, or eyes or hearts, and let those little animals out loose into the world. I mean, I had 6,000 or 7,000 hamsters within reach. And you can't even imagine how many that is. That's what's crazy about it. But we had a great time, man, and that's what went on. That's what went on right there. So that was Oregon. We were over there at the comedy club. That was Oregon. And I have some other dates coming up. I want to let you guys know I'll be in La Jolla this weekend, February 16th through the 18th at the Comedy Store. That's near San Diego. I'll be at Fantasy Springs Casino the 23rd and 24th of February. I'll be in Tacoma the 15th and 16th. That's when we got Trick Lung Mickey showing up. We're going to set him up with a girl. The 17th, I'll be out there in Spokane. I'm sorry, I got a text. It's Spoken, out there in Spokane, Washington. And then I'll be at Levity Live in Oxnard, February 23rd through the 25th. I'll be at Bananas Comedy. I don't know where that's at. Somewhere in New Jersey. And that's April 20th and 21st as of right now. What else, man? We had some great calls that came in. I'm going to get to them. I want to talk about this as well. We started off talking about, perspective and how do we look at the day. And it's funny because Austin, the hamster rancher, and I know I keep going back to him, but well, first of all, I'll tell you how it's evolved. When I was growing up and I worked, because I grew up in the stray animal belt, and one of my first jobs selling hamsters and guinea pigs outside of concerts and raves. And so when I was doing it, when I was working for these men that had this outfit outside of my town, they had, it looked like a little farm, short gates, very small gates. It almost looked like a Christmas village, but without the courthouse and the firehouse. It was just like a little fence, and they had kind of this kind of mesh top that they put on it, and all the hamsters and guinea pigs separate would stay in those. So you could go out and see, it'd be like 20 square feet, or whatever that is, 400 feet or whatever. I don't know how you do square feet, and you look out and it would just be this big, it's just like a herd of them, and you could, and so if you come into one, by one side of the one wall of the little bitty fence, I mean, the fence was only maybe 5 inches high. If you come by one side of the fence, they'd all run to the other side. And sometimes you could hear them at night, and like around winter time, they'd all go to the south side of the little, square footage or whatever. But that's just nature. Those animals migrate even in little places like that. And now when I went to see this new farm, they were all in, little. They not each had, but however many were supposed to have their separate enclosures, they did. And, you'd have the babies in there and the mother, feeding the babies. And, you'd walk past the different little cages. And sometimes you felt like a peep in Tom, like you'd look in and, one of them would be kind of skeeting out in the corner. Or, a mother would be, have her bare breasts out feeding the little hamps. Or you'd have, you'd have a fat one in the corner kind of, maybe eating a Reese cup or something that he found himself, that he snuck out and got out at night. I mean, it was amazing, man. I mean, I was just so lit up on the environment. But it's changed a lot. I mean, back in the day, it was one big group thing, and now it's, it's individualized a little bit more. And there's a certain wall where, they're all mating and doing sex, and they played music on that wall. And they had a little bit of, I'm not sure what it was. I think it was Kid Rock they were playing because, let's be honest, dude. I mean, some animals might make sex and do sex to certain types of tunes, jazz or easy listening or, Lionel Richard. But if you're going to get some real rodents, because hamsters are in that rodent kingdom, if you're going to get some real rodents to freaking get down and do a little bit of doggy style, you're going to have to put on some fucking Kid Rock, or some Waylon Jennings. And they had a lot of good stuff going on there. Or maybe even some, who sang that song? Would they go down on you in a theater? Do you speak eloquently? Would they have your baby? I think it's something Eastwood or something. I'm not sure. But you got to play something like that with that action in it to really get hamsters to have sex. But it was amazing. And I'll put that video up. I'll put it up on Patreon. And then a few days later, we'll release it on just for everyone. But I want to thank you guys so much for your support. A little bit of news. A little bit of news came in. I'm going to read this story. Because people are talking about the dark arts. And the tour that's coming up is the Dark Arts Tour. And it's going to focus specifically on dark arts. And we're getting some artwork made right now for that. I appreciate some of the submissions that have come in. And we've had a lot of music submissions. And we're also going to do an episode where we roast people's music. So if you have an issue, you don't want me doing it. Most people I've emailed and asked if it's okay. Nothing too harsh, but just funny stuff, like places I could see the music being. But here's the news. Here's the news. Okay, here we go. The masturbating game in Germany is killing many. According to a recent study, masturbation kills up to 100 Germans a year. I'm not surprised. I'm just for some reason not surprised about that. The study also uncovered the bizarre ways people have died pleasuring themselves. One man wearing a pantyhose, a raincoat, and a diving suit, as well as a plastic bag over his head, died in Hamburg after sitting next to a heater and trying to melt slices of cheese on his body. Man, and I am so hungry right now. That's the craziest thing. How crazy is that? Another man in Halle, Halle, was found dead with Christmas tree lights clamped to his nipples, having apparently tried to stimulate himself by electrocution. And can you blame a guy? I mean, imagine, first of all, it's already awesome having a boner, okay? That's already pretty much about 150% awesome. Imagine having an electric-powered boner. Awesomer. And think about this. The reason why a lot of men are doing this kind of stuff is because women are buying electric wieners. You go to these stores, go to some of these stores. Adult World, Sex Town or whatever. All this shit off the interstate, Adult Shop, Adult Video. That's all people selling electric wieners and fake innards and all kinds of stuff. Fake vaginas, fake anuses. They're selling piece of anus out there, and it's some of them are, the older ones are metal, like a malleable, but still, what the fuck? It's not right. It's not right. And so I'm not surprised that men in Germany are trying to, stimulate themselves by electrocution. What they're trying to do is compete with these modern day dicks and, battery powered cocks and all of that, Electra dicks that are out there available on Amazon. Because if you know the girl down the street, Big Samantha, okay, and Big Samantha, at night, everybody's on the same power grid on y'all street. And on Saturday night around 12:30 a.m. Sunday morning or 12:30 p.m. Saturday night, your power goes down a little bit, your lamps get a little lower. Because Samantha is down the street and she's revving up that wiener. She plugged in that super powered, that Veiny Angel 7000 or whatever it's called. She got that Veiny Angel 7000 plugged into the wall. And she's taking a hot dose, hunting that gasm. Man, that in every man in the neighborhood, you see your lamp go down a little bit. The wattage goes from 100 to 70, and you feel less than. You feel like you can't compete. So I'm not surprised that men are out there trying to get their, electricity into their body and into their penises. And that men are out there cooking cheese on their chest or whatever that other guy's doing. That shit seems weird. It's like, dude, either just maybe he was auditioning for Top Chef. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something. See a man out there that's trying to cook a slice of cheese on his chest. And that shit is mildly erotic, isn't it? I didn't think it was going to be. I mean, I would definitely watch I'd watch a lady, warm up a couple of cookies on her hot tits for sure. But also, I got to say, mildly erotic is also a man kind of slowly melting a piece of cheese on his bare chest. But that masturbating game in Germany is killing a lot of these dark artists. That's what the article says, and you can learn about that more if you go out there and read about it. I don't know where to find that. But we did have a caller that came in about it, and I want to hear him right here. Here we go.
Hey, Theo, Vincent here from Germany. Just wanted to call the hotline about some issues we're having here in Germany. And
thank you for calling, Vincent from Germany. And this might be our first true German on the hotline. And I respect true Germans. And I met a man one time that was a true German, and he said he never eats candy canes out of season. And I always respected that about him. That's true German. Onward, Vincent. Thank you for calling.
Like, for men, it has gotten really tough out here. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm kind of lost. They're introducing all these laws now. Like, they're starting to fine men 350 euros for whistling at women and asking them for a phone number.
Wow. You hear it, guys? You hear what Vincent's saying? That in Germany, they can't even whistle at a woman. What if you just happen to have your lips pursed and somebody punches you in the stomach and a bunch of air goes out of your face and a hot chick is walking by? I'm sure a lot of men have used that if they've had to go to court, use that excuse. But that's only going to last a couple times, before they just say, nope, not that either. Everybody's going to jail. $350 for asking a woman for her number. Well, you know what we need? The problem is, here, let's listen to the rest of your call first, please, Vincent. Onward.
I don't know what to do. In Sweden, they even started, like, you need, like, a proof of consent from the women. Like, you need a little contract. You need your lawyer to draw up a little contract before you can have sexual intercourse with the woman. And I don't know. It's just going crazy.
Wow. And you think the Swedish, man, I'd bang a couple of Swedish chicks with 0 documents, honestly. I mean, there's definitely some chicks from some places where I'd be like, let's see some documents, you know? Let's see some identification. But man, you show up with a wheelbarrow full of Swedish ladies at my place. I'm not asking for paperwork. But I hear the pain in your voice, Vincent. I do hear the pain in your voice. Let's hear more.
Just wanted to hear your opinion on this. We already have a giant masturbation problem in Germany, and I think it's just gonna get worse. Like, we have 100 Germans being killed through masturbation every year. And I wanted to tell you this because that's kind of funny. There was one man, he was wearing a pantyhose, a raincoat, and a diving suit, as well as a plastic bag over his head, and he died after sitting next to a heater and trying to melt that cheese on his body.
And I hear you laughing there, and I appreciate that call. We were just talking about that. And some of you listeners are going to see, well, look, that's kind of weird there. You were just talking about that, and now this man was, well, I was reading the article, and then people know that this is about the dark arts. In the title of the article, it's called "The Masturbating Game in Germany is Killing These Dark Artists." So on the hotline, we happen to have a call from this man, and he's citing that source as well. Vincent, thanks for that. You know, I mean, gosh, these men are dying. These men are dying. Do you hear this, guys? Men are jerking off and dying. Trying to cook cheese on their fucking naked bodies. They don't know what to do. That's the problem. And where are the women that are standing up for men? That's what I don't understand. Why aren't there more women who are just standing up and saying, look, I'm okay with how men are. There's a lot of good men out there. Can we quit looking at just the bad men? And can we start honoring the good men that are out there? Or can we just start accepting men for, with some of the faults that they have? And I'm not saying severe faults. I'm not saying, these guys like Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not talking about that kind of shit. But I am talking about, maybe a guy, he doesn't, get his toenails taken care of, or he cries out back of the house or out front of the house in his truck once in a while. That doesn't make him a bad person. Or he doesn't want to use the recycling bin. That doesn't make him Satan's little buddy. Okay, it just makes it maybe that, that's what's going on for him. It's like there's this, you have these over feminists who they don't want men to do, they don't want anything from men. They want to see men fail. And so they are pushing this agenda that men are no good, that men aren't half of the reason that any of us exist in the world. I think there's a lot of good men out there. And if they aren't good, I know that they're trying, which is to me is 95% of it. Are you making that effort? What's your end game? Is your end game to be a good person? Are you on that track? Tom Brady, they had this article the other day about Tom Brady and how he said at a certain point in his life, his goal was to be 1% better than the day before. And that sat with me. I'm like, man, I think I can do that. I can be 1% better than yesterday. I think I can do that. But I'm sorry, Vincent. I'm sorry that this is, affecting you guys. 100 Germans a year, and who knows how many Swedish, French. We don't need all the French, but whatever, we don't want to lose, it's just sad. How many men in Reno, Nevada are dying each year because they're, jumping off a building and trying to come at the same time. What's going on? It's a tough time for men. It's a tough time. You just got to stand on your two legs and know what you're doing is okay. You got to quit causing. If you're raping, stop raping. If you're racist, stop racist. You know, we at some point, we also do have to be brave and move forward. We got to get clean. We got to tighten up. It's okay to ask for forgiveness. You know, sometimes all you are is an ask for forgiveness away from having a clean slate, from having a clean heart. Sometimes that's all you are. You're so close. But yeah, I had a great time. I felt so welcome up here in Oregon. And I will come back. I want to thank Brendan Schaub as well from Fighter and the Kid, who, shared out to his fans for them to come out. A lot of fans came out that had seen me on Joe Rogan and different podcasts. And, I just feel really grateful to those guys. Pretty neat to just be able to, be in some funny circles with those crews. But this is serial killer country up here. And people don't realize that. And so that's why I know that I was being a little bit brave going out there to see a man who said he had some hamsters outside of town. Because that is, let's be realistic. That's number one. That's like I got candy in the van. First, there's candy in the van. Second, there is, I got a small warehouse full of hamsters on the edge of town. Oh, sure. Oh, really, guy? I'll be right out. But man, thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you guys for starting my week off okay. And just, I felt a little bit better than when I started a few minutes ago. And that was a real call over there from Vincent. And we thank you, Vincent, and we wish you well over there in Germany. And I wish you guys well in the Olympics. I'm going to try to tune into some of the Winter Olympics. Valentine's is this week. And, I want to wish a special happy Valentine's to all the single mothers out there. And I'm gonna make sure to order some flowers or something for my own mother. There's something. It must be tough for a lot of women if you. And I'm speculating here, and I'm sorry that I'm a man speculating about women. I don't know if that's. They might take me to jail in your country, Vincent. It's almost like like this is a speakeasy now. Like men have to go to podcasts to share some of their real thoughts. But we need more women to stand up for men that are okay out there. And to tell these feminists who don't have any real interest. Feminism is fine. Feminists, some of them can get a little out of line. And some of it's a marketing ploy. And I don't need the wool pulled over my gender eyes. I don't need that. We got enough shit going on. When you're trying to get me to hate men and then sell me a fucking book at the end of it all. Eat a dick, dude. Eat a can of damn Hamp cocks. And you know how many would be in that can? Probably, could you even imagine? I bet 700. To get a whole can, small can too. One of the ones you get black olives in, those little cans with the little, almost like one of those things that the Campbells that you cook in the microwave immediately, those little cups like that. Ooh, actually probably 1,100 Hamp cocks in there. But hating men for no reason, that's not helpful. Anyhow, let's hit some other calls here, man. We had another call here about porn. Oh, there was something I was going to talk to you guys about. And I just forgot about it. He's talking about going out there and getting murdered. But yeah, some of your famous murderers are from up here. You got Green River Killer. You got, you got Jeffrey Dahmer, I think, is from up here. You got, you probably got 30 serial killers they've never even caught that are from up here. So a lot of them from this area where I currently am. So that's pretty interesting, I think. Let's get to this second call right here. I'm not going to be able to make this a really long episode, guys. I start taping a pilot tomorrow for Comedy Central. And we got some really great guest stars that are going to be on it. Bobby Lee is going to be on tomorrow, and I'm excited about it. So I'll let you know when we're able to share that. And it's kind of based on the podcast loosely. So I'm just so grateful to you guys. And we're going to we're going to continue to do some really neat stuff. Oh, but I was talking about Valentine's. Sorry. I wanted to wish a happy Valentine's to all the single mothers out there. And and I've said this before, that the hardest working woman that I've ever known, the hardest working man that I've ever known was my mother. And a lot of responsibility fell on my mother, and I didn't recognize it when I was young. A lot of responsibility fell on her to be a mother and a father. And it's not fair. It's not fair for a lot of these women who are single parents to have that pressure. It's not fair. Because as a child, you have no choice but to look to your mother a lot of times, if only your mother is available for both parents, to be both parents. And there's nothing, and as a child, you can't control that. You need to have your needs met. Your world needs to make sense. It needs to feel okay. And your mother can't be two people. She can't, And so I think, especially in my generation, there's been a lot of disconnect sometimes between sons and their mothers, where we feel like we didn't get enough from our mother. But a lot of times, we don't realize that our mother was having to play two roles. And she probably didn't even realize it at the time. Just a lot of pressure on some of the mothers of my generation, of kids, my age. And I just want to say thank you to all the single moms out there, that I know it's a tough job what you do, and that you are loved. And you are loved not only by your own children, but by other children out there who had single mothers as well. And it doesn't go unnoticed. And we love you. And thank you very much. And happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you from me and from all of us out here. From all of us. We were very grateful to all the single mothers out there. All right, let's get into a couple more calls here, and then I got to get out of here, guys. Here we go. This call came in.
Hey, what's up, Theo? This is Alex from Chicago. I just want to talk about some dark arts. I'm trying to not jerk off a lot.
I've been there, brother. I've tried to not touch myself. And I used to, one of the first things I did, and this was stupid, I remember putting like, not tapatio on the side of my penis, because I thought I was going to do, because I thought that if I touched my penis, my hand would get hot and I wouldn't want to masturbate, right? I'm like, if I touch it, it's going to burn my hand. But you don't think that also that's going to burn your penis when you put it on. So that was crazy. I had to put my dick in a freaking cup of milk, and then in a rag, I had to pour a bunch of milk in a rag and then put the rag over my penis as well and put a bunch of milk on top of it to get the burning out. And that was back in the day too. I was also, had to eat a couple Quaaludes to get through that. Onward.
Just want to kind of compare notes with you. I know you're trying to do the same thing. Do you have any tips? Do you have any apps that block porn websites on your phone?
I don't have any apps. I don't use them. They are out there. I noticed this though, that one thing you could do is put that tapatio on your wiener, and that'll make you not fucking touch it for about 2 weeks. That's for sure, because some of it might have some burns on the side of it. And I'm not giving you that. Don't do that, because if somebody, don't do that, please. But yeah, I remember eating a couple Quaaludes and waking up off that tapatio. I'd done a little bit light basting on the side of my own piece, and waking up and just having not severe, but fucking, pretty decent burns, probably category 2 or something, burns on the side of my pecker, and, and a lot of fear. And then I had that milky rag next to me. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I got I thought I got molested by a fucking ice cream salesman or something, or some dairy addict. But anyhow, let's hear more.
I'm kind of drunk right now with my buddy. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Theo, it's trigger words. Trigger words are the ones that trigger me. Like if you say nipple, also I'll take a dark arts nipple. If you say clit, I'll take a dark arts clit. If you say mango, I'm thinking fruit. I'm just a human.
Yeah, so Theo, if you got any tips to avoid those dark arts, in terms of pornography.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't even know what was going on there. Your buddy sound like he has a lisp, like he got a heavy lisp, like his daddy used to, I don't know, sell pieces of metal or pieces of wood or something, and, he don't sound really super genetically confident. But I'll say this, dude. If you don't want to jerk off, first of all, spend time with your buddy. The buddy system. It's just like going to the bathroom, right? You go together, everybody's safe. But if you stay up all night with your buddy, you're probably not going to jerk off. I notice as well, get into a relationship, man. I know that sounds crazy, but I find that if I'm with a woman that I care about, I don't feel that scary vibration inside of me that wants me to go and spray out and do self-spray, and polish myself until joy flies out of my cock. I don't feel that same thing. But whereas if I'm by myself at home, I do that. I'll eat a bunch of chocolate or fill my mouth with fucking, coconut butter or something and just beat off until my penis is all hot. But don't use that Tapatio, that's for damn sure. But if you really want to do it, man, you have to set some goals. There are some no-fap websites, and I'll try to put that link on the YouTube as well. Here we go. Let's take, where are we at time-wise? Oh, we're at 51, man. Look, here's what I want to talk about for Thursday and maybe for the next, week or so. And I didn't get to talk about it today. If there were a war between the states, which state would win? It appears sometimes like we are headed, apparently a lot of people refuse to look at other people's perspective and to understand what other people's lives are like. So with that being said, that continues to create a lot of tension. And I think one of the first things that are going to get attacked are going to be these news networks. They will be taken out of commission. But after that, it could be every state for themselves. With that said, which state do you think would win? Hit the hotline. Let me know which state you think would win and why. And I'm going to piece together if we were to get into a state-on-state war, every state for themselves, who ends up at the top or who ends up at the bottom. If you have a couple of ideas, hit that hotline, 985-664-9503, and we'll get into that, and we'll see what's going on. I had some other calls that came in, but I'm going to have to address them on Thursday, man. I love you guys, and I appreciate it. I have one more show here in Portland tonight, and it's been an experience, man. We had a kind of a wild experience on Saturday, and I don't think I'm going to talk about it. I don't think it's healthy, maybe, but it just, it's just, comedy's a wild game, and we're all living our lives, and we're all, no matter what's going on, we're all just trying to be okay. And it's funny in the world. I feel like so much of the time we try to feel different. We want to be different. I want to be different. But I don't know if that's true. I think all we really want to be is loved. I think all we really want to be is accepted. And sometimes we're just trying to be so different, just so we'll just stand out just enough so that we hope somebody will see us and say, man, I love you. I love you. Or I accept you. Or you're okay. We all struggle. It's amazing. The thing that I feel that we have the most in common with sometimes is struggle. I don't know why that is. I don't know. But this week it's Happy Valentine's Day. And happy Valentine's Day to all the single mothers and all the single fathers out there. I know I left you guys out. Sometimes I do. I'm sorry. Happy Valentine's Day to all the single fathers. If you have a special Valentine's Day experience as well, hit that hotline. And we'll drop some of those on Thursday as well, 985-664-9503. Maybe we'll do that first, but I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on both of those things. So if you have a good, either one of those things, if you have a good Valentine experience or something, or if you want to tell somebody you love them, something special, maybe hit the hotline, or I don't know. That might be weird because the episode will be on Thursday and Valentine's will be over. But yeah, if you have some thoughts, if you're lonely and you do a tradition, or if you had a great Valentine's and you found a great way to show somebody that you love them, hit that hotline. Let us know what it is. If there's something you do special for your mother or father on Valentine's, or something special that they did for you growing up, hit the hotline. Let us know what it is. But just know this today, man, that this week, get out there and love somebody. No hate in this one. Change the way. If you starting off that Monday rocky, take a deep breath and say, even if everybody in the world or if I feel like the world hates me today, I'm going to go out there and love it. It's all we can do sometimes, man. And especially this week, this Cupid country, bruh. This is Valentine's. This is when you got that little naked baby running around with that fucking bow and arrow. You know what I'm saying? That love ISIS. That little dude got, shit in his pants, but he's out there pop, 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 gunning. Gang, gang. Thank you, Austin Robinette. Thank you, Oregon. Thank you, everybody that came out there. Everybody. Gutter Smut 212, Fat Gary. Cat Bush Ernest, Spice Rack, Dead Family Gucci 11, Allen, Small Pat. Everybody. Raymond. Little Ice. Insafa. Everybody. Everybody that came out. Derek, Troy, Butters. Everybody. Get that hitter, man. God bless you guys. Be good to yourselves. You probably deserve it.
Celebrate living.